So, one of the things that we're going to be talking about at our next town hall meeting is something that's been in the news lately, and this is something that Mayor De Blasio, when he was running for office, I mean, it was not a surprise that this is something that he was he was campaigning on, and that was affordable housing. And here's the thing. I don't think there's anybody that is against affordable housing. It's one of those political things that no one's going to be against that kind of thing. Everyone says, hey, should there be affordable housing? Of course. Who's going to be for unaffordable housing, right? But part of this is in doing this, it looks like they want to legalize some of the illegal abatements, what are currently illegal, which is not actually bringing in affordable housing. It's just kind of like changing the designation, I guess. And at our last meeting, one of our residents, Mr. Sherman Kane, spoke about it, and it's going to be on the agenda at our next meeting, and Mr. Kane joins us now to speak about this. Sherman, how are you?
Hello, I'm here. Yes.
Good. How have you been, my friend?
I'm fine, thank you, Ed. How are you?
Doing really well. So he unveiled Mayor De Blasio unveiled his affordable housing plan this week, and so what is it? What is his plan that as he's released? What does it say right now about?
Well, he has a very elaborate document with it's over 100 pages long, and I haven't read the whole thing, but I've read summaries of it. And the main issue is that he's planning to create 200,000 new units, is what he's saying he's going to do. And there's all kinds of ways that he's planning to do this, and it's broken down into 80,000 units that are new development, which will require federal and state funding, which is uncertain. The other 120,000 units that he's projecting are going to be from existing properties, which means basement apartments or what they call granny flats. A granny flat is an apartment that's built over a garage. And these are illegal. Right now they're called illegal conversions. And he wants to legalize those and include, so the proportions that he's talking about, it sounds like, first of all, the new developments that would be 80,000 new units are questionable because it requires federal and state funding to do that, and he still hasn't secured that. So if he can't get the funding, then that whole category is up in the air. And the remaining 120,000 is the bulk of what he's talking about, which is illegal conversions. Mm-hmm. And this is a matter that I think is of great concern to any community that is primarily 1- and 2-family houses, because it's going to, right now we have a big problem with illegal conversions in Woodhaven and in a lot of other communities in Queens and all around the city. And if all of those illegal conversions become legal, we're in big trouble.
Sure.
So
I agree, because so many of the complaints that we get, over the past couple of years, and I think a lot of them are rooted in illegal conversions. The trouble with parking, too much garbage, a lot of noise. They have their root in that problem of illegal conversions right there.
Oh yes, there are many problems that you get. You get increase in density, and all of his proposals are going to increase density. Not just the basement apartments, but everything that he's talking about is going to increase density. If you increase density, you have to increase services, infrastructure, utilities. You have to increase police, fire, schools, hospitals, sanitation, transportation, sewers, parking, street maintenance, water, electricity, telephone, cable, everything has to be considered when you have a higher density of population. And right now, we already have an inadequate infrastructure for the illegal conversions that exist. So we really need to, I think, make our position clear that this is not a good thing for Woodhaven.
Yeah, it's certainly not a good. Listen, it's not. To me, it's not a good solution to a problem. And everyone's recognized that this has been a problem for a while. So to just really basically make these illegal conversions legal, it seems to me you're wishing away a problem at the same time as trying to achieve this lofty goal that he set. And it's just you could get rid of the noise problem just by making noise at night very legal. We could get rid of the drug problem by making it legal. I mean, you could get rid of any kind of problem just by saying, well,
yes,
it's not a problem
exactly.
anymore.
You may wave a magic wand, and all of a sudden, the illegal conversions are legal.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the way to solve the problem. And I agree that, with what you first said, which is nobody is opposed to affordable housing.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to have a program where there's more affordable housing. So that, to me, would mean that the developments that are being made now would have a significant number of units that were low-income or moderate-income residents, rather than catering to millionaires and billionaires, which is what happens in a lot of these new developments.
Yeah, and you know what I find real troublesome with this is that for a few years, for a number of years really, the residents of this community and surrounding communities were involved in an effort for rezoning, and there was a lot of effort put into that, a lot of hearings, a lot of debate, a lot of discussion, and to me this seems to kind of circumvent everything that was done there.
That's right. It's ignoring all of that effort that was made by the Department of City Planning, by Community Board 9, by all the people that were involved in the rezoning efforts to preserve the current residential character of the community, and at the same time upgrade some of the commercial strips so that they would be able to allow more development along the commercial strips like Jamaica Avenue and Atlantic Avenue and 101st Avenue. But the rezoning was designed to preserve the current residential character.
Sure.
And if you allow legalized basement apartments and granny flats, then this undoes all that.
Now we had one person on Facebook, one resident who certainly is interested in this and said they're kind of on the fence. And one of the things they were saying was they would like to have the option of having a basement apartment for relatives to live in. And I guess I understand that. And growing up, certainly I grew up with people that had relatives living in the basement. But I don't know. My concern there, even still, I know another concern they offered is that right now we know that many basement apartments are being lived in. I mean, we know that very well, and that they are unregulated right now.
Yes, that's right.
So that by making these legal, they feel that there'll be more oversight. But I'm not so sure about that. If they're not able to have any oversight on these illegal apartments now, I don't know what's to say that suddenly they will have more oversight on them.
Yes, that's correct. They can't enforce the zoning the way it is now. They can't seem to enforce it successfully. So if there's people who have illegal apartments, then they're not going to be any better if they're legalized. So I agree with you.
All right, so now, I guess where do we stand with this? Now I know, just so folks know out there, and Sherman right now is on here. He's calling in as a resident of Woodhaven. He attends our meeting, but Sherman is also Mr. Kane is also a board member on Community Board 9. How long have you been with CB9 now?
Oh, I think it's been about 8 years or 9 years.
All right. And thank you for your service. I tell you, it's a lot of people don't realize. I mean, it's a lot of it's a big commitment, you know.
Yes,
and,
it is.
We do appreciate everyone who's part of that. So now, what do you think their read on it, and can they help us in this?
Well,
in this
I'm working on that, obviously, and I'm hoping that will happen. And at the same time, I'm also advising that the Woodhaven Residents Block Association should take a stand also on this issue, and that would be beneficial for the community board as well.
Absolutely.
There's an organization called BASE. I don't know if you've heard about BASE. It stands for Basement Apartments Safe for Everyone. And this is an organization that's funded, and it's been around for many years. I don't know when they started, but it's not a new organization. And they're advocating to legalize basement apartments. And I believe that they're supported by property owners who wish to get rent legally for basement apartments. And perhaps they're also funded. I really can't say where their funding is coming from, but I believe it's probably coming from the real estate sector and the banking sector, because this would benefit those categories of the community. And they're supporting basement apartments. So there is an advocate on the community board for that organization, and it's creating a little bit of division on the community board. And we're working to try to get a more of a consistent stand right now. Okay.
Well, listen, I think we got our work cut out for us, and we certainly will it'll be a topic of conversation at our next town hall meeting, which is May 17th. That's a Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. at American Legion, Post 118, right over there behind PS 60.
Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
All right. Well, thank you so much for standing up for our community and all you do, and we look forward to working with you on this.
Well, thank you too, Ed.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Be well. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that's Sherman Kane, who